helping the veterans of our community, you really spend all of your time helping at-risk youth have a brighter future. How did you get involved with that?
Right. Well, Jay, I had an opportunity at the age of 16, I was telling TJ, to travel to Washington, D.C., being born and raised in a very poverty-stricken community there in Fayette, Mississippi. I had never traveled outside of the state of Mississippi. Had an opportunity to go there and meet Congressman Greg Harper, who's one of my mentors now, and I just had an aha moment, and I said, oh, wow, this is what it's like to make a difference. And I decided at that point in time in my life that when I, grow up and that I will become successful, I would go back home. And so I go back home every year to do the Youth and Legends Ball. And it has been an extreme success because of my mentors like Congressman Harper, who comes back and speak and make a difference as well.
So your Youth Legends Ball, is that in March every year?
This year it's going to be in November.
Okay.
November this year, because we're planning a leadership brunch back this March. So in March we're doing a leadership brunch, and we've moved the Youth and Legends Ball to the fall semester instead of the spring.
Okay. And tell me what age group and what are you trying to do exactly?
Well, we have from 9th to 12th grade that comes to the Youth and Legends Ball, and what is an opportunity for young people across the state of Mississippi to meet what we consider legends, from the governors to senators, congressmen, news anchors, doctors, lawyers. Every career that a young student would want to be a part of is represented at the ball. And for sometimes students in poverty-stricken areas won't have an opportunity to go and to meet the governor, but if we can bring the governor and First Lady there to make a difference.
Well, and it's important because when young children meet somebody that is famous, even you might not think you're all that famous, but to them you are. And I can remember when my son was, oh gosh, maybe let's just say 6, and we were in the airport. We're in the airport in Montreal, Canada, of all places, and look up. And there is Jerry Clower. And my son says, Mama, that's that guy on TV. I said, yeah, it is. He said, can I go talk to him? I said, yeah, go ahead. And so he went over. And, of course, Jerry Clower was a big, tall guy. My son just barely came up, just under his stomach. He was just like a little short fella. And he said, he pulled on his sleeves, and I know you. Said, I've seen you on TV. And he said, bless you, my child. And so he gave my son this card. He said, what's your name, boy? He said, Josh. And he said, he signed the card, and he said, now you put this on your wall, and won't ne'er a roach nor rat ever come in your room again. And boy, he kept it on his, on the wall for the longest time. So that made a lasting impression, right, that somebody that he had seen on television took the time to talk to him and be a person to him. And that's what you're trying to do.
Yes, and I had so many success stories. I was telling TJ from the president of Mississippi Valley State University. I was telling Jay about it, Dr. Oliver. Mm-hmm. And I had an opportunity to go and talk to her before she left Mississippi Valley State. But she had an opportunity to speak at the ball. She talked about Mississippi Valley State to students. Some students had never heard of the university, and out of that 125 students that were there, she recruited 30 students to come to Mississippi Valley State as a result of that. And so not only did the ball do a positive, impact for the students, but it helped to boost her student enrollment that she was struggling with there.
Yeah. Well, you never know what kind of impression you're going to make, and so this is an opportunity. And if people want to find out more about this, how can they, get in touch with you or find out about it?
Well, I have a Facebook fan page that they can contact me at Duvalier Malone Enterprises on Facebook, or follow me on Twitter at Duvalier Malone, or they also can visit my website at duvaliermalone.com.
Okay, all right.
And I just put all of this on Facebook. And I'm also putting a link to your Growth Talk radio show.
Okay.
Because I know that you always have some interesting guests. And I want you to tell me really quickly, you went this past weekend up to the Delta.
Oh, my God.
Tell me quickly about that trip, and who did you see and meet while you were there?
Jay, I had an opportunity to meet a 90-year-old civil rights activist, Mrs. Bertha Blackburn.
Wow.
And I had an opportunity to speak to her about just life lessons and principles that she lived by. and to talk about the struggle from the civil rights movement to now in Clarksdale and where she wants to see Clarksdale go. And this documentary that I done will be aired on February 23rd on Fox, on WDBD, and it's going to be aired there from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. So people across the state of Mississippi have an opportunity to hear her wisdom, and we had an opportunity to speak to other young people that were in the area. They're doing amazing things. They just need resources there, and hopefully the documentary will bring state attention to the resources that are needed there in the Mississippi Delta.
Well, my older brother he works with senior citizens in Cleveland, and he says he has the most interesting group of people just like this woman who have a tale to tell from the times
Right.
gone by.
Wow.
And he's always calling me, telling me some story that they've told, and they've lived it, and it's just absolutely tremendous. So this ought to be a great documentary. It's
Awesome.
next Saturday, the 23rd. What time?
From 3 to 4 o'clock, and that's going to be on Fox WDBD.
Okay,
Here.
all right, good deal, folks.
You're going to have to put a link on your Facebook page about that, because that is too interesting, and I don't want to miss that.
That's going to
Okay,
be great.
I sure will.
Duvalier Malone, thank you so much for
Thank you for
spending
having me,
so
Jay.
much of your time and efforts trying to empower, underprivileged youth that really need a hand and a kudos and a reason to dream big. I think what you do is really awesome, and I'm so glad that you finally got to come on my radio show.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, well, we want to thank all of our guests today. TJ, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. McMullen and our good friend from New Summit,
Miss Jeannie Pickering.
Jeannie Pickering. All right,
Jeannie.
mark your calendars. Tuesday night, a little